Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now, after discussing the food webs, chains, trophic levels, now we are coming to another thing, trophic structure. Okay, how a structure would look like where there is a transfer of energy and organisms are there. So this would be known as trophic structure or food level. I would request you to like, share and subscribe because this is not a commercial video. This is meant for students freely available. Food webs, food chains never remain isolated in nature. Generally they are linked with one another. This interlocking system of food chain is called food web. Food webs serve as an alternate pathways or pattern for organisms to obtain energy from many sources. Food webs are aggregation, interconnections of two or more food chains. It is commonly observed that many organisms may use the same food, or the same organism may have different food sources. This initiates the concept of trophic level. Trophic level means who feeds whom. This was the first sentence, first line we started in this lecture. Thus, all those organisms whose food is obtained, derived, or maintained from source in plants. Plants are the source. By the same number of steps or links belong to the same trophic level. Trophic level is the status of an organism in a food chain. So it is the position, status, what it eats. It eats grass, it eats meat, it eats many things. It refers to the food or feeding position within a food chain. Trophic level represents steps in the food chain or ecological pyramid at which the transfer of energy and nutrients takes place from one organism to another. So जिस लेवल पे एक ऑर्गेनिज्म दूसरे ऑर्गेनिज्म को फूड प्रोवाइड करता है, एनर्जी ट्रांसफ़र करता है, उसको हम लेवल कहते हैं. यही चीज़ जो है स्ट्रक्चर बना के देती है. ट्रॉफिक लेवल इज पोजीशन इन फूड चेन or ecological pyramid occupied by a group of organisms that have same feeding patterns. So these are ecological groups. Herbivore is one ecological group, carnivores is another ecological group, tertiary organisms are another ecological groups, although taxonomically they will be different. To determine relationships and dependencies among different organisms in ecosystem, it tells us, it determines dependence, relationship, आपस के ताल्लुकात, कौन सा ऑर्गेनिज्म किसको फूड प्रोवाइड करता है, किसको खाता है. It shows the direction of flow of energy and nutrients from lower to higher trophic. Direction of flow of energy is from lower to higher. Lower means from grasses to carnivores, primarily secondary, tertiary carnivores. There are three main trophic levels: producers, consumers, decomposers. Trophic level starts with the primary producer at level 1, moves to the herbivores level 2, carnivores at level 3, and normally finish the apex predators 4 to 5. So we have seen that only 4 to 5 steps could be there. It cannot be indefinite 20 steps, 30 steps, because ultimately energy is lost no energy is available, organism would be there when some energy is available. Green plants as producers make the first trophic. Herbivores made the second trophic because they are primary consumers. Carnivores are predators of herbivores, thereby making a third trophic. These are also called secondary consumers. So we can have tertiary also. All organisms predatory upon secondary consumers are known as tertiary consumers or secondary carnivores such as falcons, चील, जो कि और बर्ड्स को खाते हैं। तो आप देखें ये डायग्राम में व्हाट डू फाल्कन ईट? डक्स को खाते हैं, गल्स को खाते हैं, पिजन को खाते हैं, सी बर्ड्स को खाते हैं, या सिंपली से दे प्रे अपॉन बर्ड्स. So all falcons they belong to the same trophic level. This is another example, very interesting example. Elephant, goat, deer, sheep, grasshopper, caterpillars, they feed on plants. Zooplankton feed on phytoplankton. Phytoplanktons are plants. Although these consumers contrastingly differ in their morphology, structure, size, taxonomy, but logically they belong to the same trophic level because all of them they are herbivores. Hathi, घोड़ा, sheep, zooplanktons, caterpillars, grasshopper, सारे यहाँ पे based on this is belonging to one level. This is the graphic. Grass is there, grasshopper is there, deer is there, elephant is there, larvae of grasses are there, zooplanktons are there, and animals are there, cattle. All of them they are grass eaters, herbivores. So they belong to the same trophic levels. Functional organizations में अगर आप देखें, classification of organisms into various trophic levels, functional organization. A given organism may occupy one or more than one trophic levels according to the food habit or source of energy which actually is assimilated. इस डायग्राम में आप देखें कि पौधे हैं, पौधों से कैटरपिलर हैं, बटरफ्लाइज हैं और बर्ड्स हैं, मुख्तलिफ हैं. Each one has its own trophic level या stage. All of them they would be, this first level would be herbivores, second would be carnivores, third would be secondary carnivores and so on. Flow of energy. Energy flow E. Energy flow E through a trophic level equals to the total assimilation A at that particular point, which in turn equals to the production biomass plus respiration. Therefore, E is equal to A, which is equal to P plus R. Food chains or food webs are important. The alternate pathways in food web help in maintaining the stability of the ecosystem. but ये आप देखें कि alternate pathways न हो तो definitely next level will be moving out of the habitat, die out. We have seen that the caribou जो है in the polar regions they depend upon the lichens, and lichens in the winter they become snow covered or do not grow, they come down to low level. So birds or animals, they move out of the habitat if food chain is incomplete or if food is not available. If alternate food is not available to the organism, हम भी इसी तरह हैं कि अगर हमें एक फूड अवेलेबल नहीं है, खास फूड, दूसरा हम खाते नहीं हैं, we will die or move away from the area. Therefore, the ecological stability of ecosystem depends upon the complexity of the food. So, more complexity, more food webs, more complex food structure, and there will be a stability and more organism. Reduction in energy. Reduction of energy with each transfer step within each link in the food chain is about 2 orders of magnitude at the first or primary trophic level, and therefore it decreases by by 1 order of magnitude, a factor of 10 in the subsequent levels. Solar energy जो आती है वो 2 order of magnitude 100 times decreases. Whatever is portion receivable by the plants 100 times. उसके बाद 10 times keeps on decreasing. 1 order of magnitude means by a factor of 10. The energy reduces 100 times, 2 order of magnitude at reducer level, and thereafter it is 10 times in the successive transfer steps. On a sunny day, this is an example, assume that 4,000 calories of light is coming or received by the plants. Of this, only 2,000 calories light per meter per day is absorbed by the green plants. During photosynthetic conversion, it reduces by 2 orders of magnitude at this level. It might be expected to end up with 20 calories energy as a plant production, plant biomass and plant energy. At herbivore now, this grass plant is utilized by herbivores. So herbivores utilize करेगा तो definitely 10 times कम होगा. So this would reduce to 2 calories. 20 would reduce 2 calories. 2 calories, 10 times reduction in the next secondary consumer will be 0.2, and at the third level it will be 0.02 or 0.002 calories at the successive levels. It is obvious that with small available food energy, few organisms can be supported in next transfer steps. Therefore, practically, the food chain is limited to 5 or 4 steps. I have written 5, 4, 5 steps only. The degraded grasslands of Balochistan provide insufficient energy to grazing herds of sheep and goat, thereby secondary productivity declines significantly because the goat, sheep grazing they are weak and with low capability of reproduction, with low capability of milking. So reduction of energy reduces the health biomass of the grazing animals. Another example of this, on a sunny day, 10,000 joule energy of producers plants transfers only 10% energy to the primary consumers in aquatic ecosystem, panic ecosystem, aquatic plant ecosystem. Primary consumer levels, herbivores, 1,000 joule energy is accumulated. 10,000 से 1,000 herbivores accumulated. Now available energy is 100 joule transferred to the secondary consumer, small, and so on it increases. At the next stage it would be 10 joule, and further it would be less than 1 joule, and it would be less than 1 joule in the further steps. This is the diagrammatic representation. Plants, herbivores, carnivores, carnivores हैं, phytoplankton हैं, zooplankton, these are the phytoplankton हैं, zooplankton हैं, carnivores हैं, full carnivores हैं, full carnivores हैं. अब आप देखें कि primary consumers हैं, secondary consumers हैं, tertiary consumers हैं, quaternary consumers. This arrow indicates energy decreases from base to the top. Miller was a worker who in 1971 described a transfer of energy diagram. He stated that 300 trout fishes are needed to support one man for a year. So one man needs 300 trout fishes. These 300 trout fishes in turn must consume 90,000 frogs per year. The frogs must consume 27 million grasshoppers, which feed on 10,000 tons of grasses per year. See the diagram? 10,000, 1,000 tons of grasses per year, 27 million grasshoppers, 90,000 frogs, 300 trouts, और आखिर में एक बंदा इन सब को खा जाता है फिश की सूरत. Thank you very much. See you again next. Liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you very much. Let me tell you that my daughter is always helping me in these videos. Without her, I can't do anything. I can just prepare, read, and lecture. She's always sitting with me. Thanks to her also.